I'm Whitney White from Talent 2025, and today I'm here with Heather Garretson. Heather, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Heather Garretson. I'm an attorney, and I'm the project manager for Talent 2025's Returning Citizens Working Group.
Heather, tell us a little bit about the criminal justice system.
Sure. In America, we have 5% of the world's population, but 25% of the world's prisoners. That's a pretty big number. In Michigan, that means that we have 42,000 people who are incarcerated. And nationally, we have over 2.3 million people who live behind bars. Sometimes it's helpful to break down those numbers a little bit. So that means that 1 in 100 Americans is currently incarcerated. And that means that nearly 5 million children, which is 1 in 14 kids in America, at some point have had a parent who was in jail or prison.
The criminal justice system is more than just people who've been incarcerated, though.
That's right. Those numbers are only people who currently are incarcerated. That doesn't include the nearly 4 million people who are under correctional control, either through parole or probation. So all of these numbers combined means that 1 in 3 Americans has a criminal history. And right now in America, more people have a criminal history than a college degree.
Talent 2025 is an employer-led organization. What does employment mean for those millions of people with a criminal history?
A quality, steady job following release from prison is one of the strongest predictors of desistance from crime. In fact, one study shows that even 30 days of employment reduces recidivism rates.
We know that employment benefits people with criminal histories, but do people with criminal histories benefit employers?
They do. In fact, employers who actively hire and track employees who have a criminal history report that they are reliable, safe, and long-term employees. We have a couple studies that demonstrate this. One is through Johns Hopkins, which is an internationally renowned hospital located in Baltimore, Maryland, and it actively employs people with criminal histories. They're conducting a study now of over 500 of their employees with criminal histories and finding that they have substantially higher retention rates than employees without. And the military has similar examples. There's a study of people in the military with criminal histories that shows not only are they not terminated at any higher rate than people without, but they're often promoted faster than their colleagues who do not have a criminal history.
So employers can benefit from hiring from this talent pool. How do they do it?
Well, best practices are that the employer looks at applicants to see if they're a good fit for their job description, just like they would anyone else, and go through the application process, see if the applicant is a good fit. If they are, and they would make sense to hire, then an employer goes ahead and extends a conditional offer of employment. Then, if the employer thinks it's relevant to know about a criminal history, they would ask the applicant at that point in the process. This is commonly known as moving the box because it just moves the box off the front of the application where it doesn't really give you any information, but it puts it to a place in the interview process where you can understand if the criminal history is relevant to the job that's being sought.
Is the move the box different than ban the box?
It is a little bit because it's an employer-driven decision where the employer can decide to ask later in the process, which also ensures that they are complying with state, local, and federal law, but it also it increases their talent pool.
Let's say an employer has a qualified applicant who also has a criminal history. What should the employer do?
Then the employer can evaluate the relevance of the criminal history by asking 3 questions. 1, what is the nature of the offense? That's essentially understanding the circumstances surrounding the criminal history. 2, the time that's passed since the offense. How long ago did the offense occur? And 3, the nature of the position sought. So the employer can look at the criminal history and compare it to the job duties and anything that the employee is going to be doing to see if it's relevant.
It sounds like there are many ways that an employee with a criminal history can benefit an employer. Can we sum them up here?
Sure. Hiring someone with a criminal history enlarges an employer's talent pool with qualified candidates. It reduces recruiting costs. It can advance a company's diversity and inclusion initiatives. It ensures compliance with local, state, and federal law. It can reduce turnover and increase productivity. And it also entitles employers to tax credits and bonds.
If an employer wanted to learn more about hiring returning citizens, where should they look?
Talent 2025 recently released a Best Practices for Hiring Returning Citizens report, and it can be found on the Talent 2025 website, which is talent2025.org. There's lots of great information in there.
Perfect. Well, Heather, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
And we appreciate all of the useful information you shared.